Okay, everybody, so we're going to start at the top of the song. And basically what I'll do is I'll play through the introduction, which sort of introduces the melody, what's called the head of the song. And that happens a few times. And then we go from there into the actual chord progression, into the actual like improvisational part. So what I'll do is I'll play all the way through the intro, and then I'll play through the first half of the improvisation. And then I'll break all of that down for you. So this is the intro plus the first half of the improvisation. Okay, so I was using a looper pedal to kind of play the chords. But before we get into the whole improvisational part, what you just heard, let's talk about the head. The head is really simple. It's basically, the song is in A minor, and we're outlining basically an A minor chord. And we're on the A on the D string, and then we're barring the G and B string on the 5th fret, and then pulling off 6 to 5, F to E on the B string. And then after that pull off, we play D and go up a D minor arpeggio. So 7, 6, 5 on the top 3 strings. Like that. And now you'll notice that with, or maybe you notice, the picking in my right hand, I'm kind of doing it, I'm kind of not doing it. I'm not necessarily like a traditional gypsy jazz player, right? But I do love the type of music. But what I will tell you is the traditional gypsy style of picking is you basically use your arm to push the pick through the string, and then you rest on the next string. So it's not like a free stroke that comes from your wrist, it's rather an arm stroke. And you use the next string as like a backstop. Like that. That type of an idea. And then when you do an upstroke actually does come from the wrist. So you do a downstroke like this, and then an upstroke with the wrist. Like that. And that's sort of how gypsy jazz players tend to pick. And in addition to that, virtually every single time they change strings, it's not 100% of the time, but it's about 99% of the time they change strings, it's always on a downstroke. So if you're changing strings like this, that's all downstroke, meaning you get that nice, hard, powerful attack by driving into the next string. And it gives it that really intense, powerful sound as opposed to, which is also fine, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not like the traditional gypsy jazz way. So keeping that in mind, you can either go ahead and employ that technique, you can employ part of it, like I'm employing the rest into the string part of it, but I don't always change strings on a downstroke, it's just not my style of playing. But feel free to pick and choose, try it all out, try the full gypsy way, my half version, or just play it your normal picking style, whatever you prefer. Just so you know what the traditional gypsy jazz way is. So that's the melody, and that repeats three times. And then you hit an open A string, and then you let that ring for 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then all of that repeats. then we go into that section right there. And that is, so the second time you go through it, it's basically, instead of the open A, it's like a little bass line that's descending. So that's open A to C, B, A, F. And then we play, and that is where we're playing an open E. It's basically an E7 sharp 5 flat 9. So we're playing an open E and then skipping the A string, and on the D string we're playing 6, the G sharp, then D, 7, and then F natural 6, and then pinky on C, 8th fret. And then we do that rhythm, ba-da-dun-da-da, and that last chord is a G sharp diminished 7. So we're playing 6, 7, 6, 7 on those same strings. We're just kind of like sliding our pinky back and then making that chord shape. Right there. And right after that is where the improv begins. Now the improv goes through the chord changes, and the chord changes are basically, it's a very gypsy style way of playing chords. I'll play just kind of like one time through the chorus, one time through the progression, just the rhythm. So this is what it sounds like. Okay, so it's this boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, kind of a feel, right? And it's pretty much all downstrokes. And they use a lot of minor 6 chords, which is very cool. It's kind of like almost like an ambiguous chord. It allows you to do a lot of stuff melodically over the top of it. So it's A minor, but instead of an A minor 7, we're playing A minor 6, which is basically like an F sharp half diminished with an A note in the bass. So that's a low 5th fret, and then skip the 5th string, and we're playing 4, 5, 5, 5. So we play that for 2 measures. And then we jump up to the 10th fret and do the same thing for 2 measures. And then we go to a regular E7. And then back to the A minor 6. Back to the D minor 6 on the 10th fret. Back to the A minor 6. And then we do E7, B flat 7. So it's E7 for 1 bar, B flat 7 for 1 bar, A minor 6 for 1 bar, and then F7 half a bar, E7 half a bar. Like that. So it's A minor 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. E7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. E7, 1, 2, 3, 4. B flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. F7, 1, 2, E7, 3, 4. Back to the A. So the whole thing. And that's basically the rhythm. So now it starts with coming out of that. The improv starts so that we're basically just playing the upper portion of the A minor 6 chord, the F sharp half diminished, right? Da-dum bump, and then from there we do this lick. very gypsy jazz. This whole thing is very gypsy jazz. So we're starting on the B flat and doing a quick pull off to A and sliding down to G sharp. And then jumping back up 5, 7, 5, and then 4, 7, 5, and then after that 5, we climb down a D minor arpeggio, F, pull off D to B. So that's like that. And then the next lick is that. So we're starting on an open E and climbing down 10, 8, 7, 5 on the E. And then doing a G sharp on the 4th fret, and then pull off 5 to 4, and then 6 on the B, 7, and then B, 7 on the G string, 4 on the G string. So it's down that D minor arpeggio again. Like that. And then the next part, we do this, where we're hammering on G sharp to B flat, and then to D, like that. We're hammering on G sharp 1st fret to B flat on the 3rd fret, and then D on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and then F natural on the 1st string. And then that's an open E, and then pull off F to E, and then a quick pull off C to B on the B string, and then 2 A notes. So that's right there. So far we have sorry. And then we do this, we climb all the way up to the 14th fret. And we're basically climbing up an A minor scale. A, B, C, D. 14th fret on the G string, and then 12, 13, 15 on the B. And then this whole big descending thing. And then we pull off 13, 12, back to 14 on the G, back to 12 on the B. So that's and then now this part, we're playing A natural, G sharp, B on the 12th fret B string, so, and then climbing down from that B, down to A, and then down to F on the 15th fret D string. So that's, and then on the D string we play 14th fret E, pull off to 12th fret D, and then slide down to 10 and slide down to 9. Like that. So that's and then we take the 9th fret G string and bend it and release. So it's kind of a long, like a really long extended lick. Like that. So, and then after that, this kind of like really long, it's like a multi-phrase type of a lick. So the first part is that we're basically just climbing up an A minor arpeggio, climbing up a 7th fret D string, and then barring the 5th fret, and then 7th fret, 8th fret, and then back down to the 5th fret of the E string and slide up to 7. And then we go, which is sort of like a chromatic enclosure idea where we're playing F sharp, A, down to G sharp on the B string, 7, 10, 9. And then after that, we climb down 9, 8, 7 on the G string, and then play C on the 8th fret E string. So that's and then this last part, we're playing 7, 10 on the B, 9 on the B, back to 7. And then down an A minor arpeggio. 10, 9, 10, 7. Like that. So it's and then the last part is we just kind of finish with 2 high E notes. Like that. So real slow, if I did the whole improv section, it would be this. And that's one time through the progression. Now, you'll notice that whenever I have a long note, or even whenever Django has a long note, he's really doing a lot of vibrato. It's never just like, or like some like little thing. It's always like a really fast, wobbly note. It's very intense. I mean, Django was a super intense player, like loads of energy and attack in his right hand and very aggressive with his left hand. So I urge you to take each lick one lick at a time and really dissect the lick. For example, I mean, this one is so useful over an A minor chord or even a D7 chord, right? You're starting, I mean, if you're thinking A minor, you're starting on like a totally out there note. It's a B flat. There's no B flat in A minor, right? And there's no G sharp either. But it's this idea of circling the target note that you're after, which is A, and doing it chromatically. That idea right there, pull off, slide, and go back, is a really gypsy idea. Right? That kind of a lick right there can get you really, really far as far as like good ideas for things to practice and things to improvise when you're doing your own types of solos and your own types of like improvisations. So I urge you to really take a look at each lick and just see how it relates to A minor and the positions of A minor that you know. You know, like, does it look like it's somewhere within the pentatonic scale or somewhere nearby the pentatonic scale that you know? When he's playing arpeggios, did you really ever play those types of arpeggios? You know, that's like a D minor with a B, so it'd be like a B half diminished arpeggio. Right? If you've never played that type of an arpeggio, maybe it's time to start. So give all those licks and stuff a shot, and then we'll go into the second half of the improvisation right now.